Hi friends, let's do some radial painting in the style of Alma Thomas. In order to do this, you are going to need a piece of white paper because you're going to have to trace a circle with anything that you can find around your house. That's round of course, I used this bowl here, but you could easily use a tape roll, you could use a coaster if you like, and you want to lay that down on the paper, trace around it with a pencil, cut it out, and voila, you have your circle. You're also going to need a cup of clean water to keep your colors nice and bright. You're going to need a watercolor set. If you don't have a watercolor set, that is okay. If you don't have a watercolor set, you can use pencils, colored pencils, you could use markers, you could use crayons or pastels, whatever you have available to make color. You could also do this in black and white monochromatically. It doesn't have to be color. It could be really interesting radial design even without color. You want to prepare your watercolors with a little bit of water on each. And just kind of prepare them really gently, stroking your watercolors like you would if you were stroking a cat. And you want to do that, not hard, you're not digging into a cat. You want to do that for all of the colors that you want to use so that you're prepared to use them. So I'm just going to take a moment to do that. I'm going to go all the way down this watercolor to purple. I'm going to keep my colors in the primary and secondary family. Also remember, you can think about color relationships like we've explored a little bit at school, talking about primaries and secondaries and tertiary colors, complementary colors and analogous colors. Hope all of those terms jar your memory a little bit. So my colors are all ready to paint with. Now, Alma Thomas, her work's so beautiful. Radial design, which is what Alma Thomas, well, her most popular paintings were all about, start at the center, and then all of the patterns and designs radiate out from that center. For Alma Thomas, her most popular paintings were concentric circles. That means circles inside of circles, inside of circles, inside of circles until you get to that core. So we are going to be exploring our radial painting like that. I did one that was not concentric circles, even though you have these bands of pattern, you have your color that starts in the center. The brush strokes radiate out in a different way, much like the rays of the sun. So you can have fun and create a different kind of radial design, but we are going to explore radial design that is more like Alma Thomas. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm going to start with the color of my choice at the center. Let's see. I used purple before. This is so funny. You know how color is so hard for me to choose because I love color. Okay, I'm going to start with orange at the center. When you are doing your radial design, think about the size you want that central circle to be. It could be a tiny little circle in the center. It could be something much bolder. Look at this. I'm making a much bolder, bigger circle in the center. And the larger I make that center, the less space I have on the outside to play with my brush strokes. Oh, and by the way, I have a medium-sized brush, and it's not a fancy brush, and that's just fine. Cleaning my brush in between colors. I think the next color that I am going to use is red. And remember, you can use the tip of your brush or you can lay it down flat to vary the thickness of your brush strokes. I think I'm going to lay my brush down with a medium kind of pressure and make those dabs of color around the outside, like Alma Thomas's radial paintings. And I'm going to leave a little bit of white space in between, like her paintings. Kind of lets your colors shine a little bit more to have that bit of white. Cleaning my brush in between colors. Now I'm going to go out to green. This time I'm going to lay my brush down quite a bit, and you're going to watch how that brush stroke is much thicker as a result of that. So can you see that? I'm laying my brush down and dabbing my color all around that circle in a much thicker brush stroke. It's okay if your colors touch and they kind of bleed into each other a little bit. This is all fun and experimentation and exploration with Alma Thomas's style of radial painting. I'm going to go to my next color, which I think is going to be blue. These are my analogous colors, right? Colors that are next to each other, orange next to red. And now I'm going to do green next to blue, which are analogous or next to each other on that color wheel. And for that one, I'm going to do tiny little dabs using just the tip of my brush, going all the way around. And then I'm evaluating, I'm looking at the space that I have in my last band, and I think I'm gonna end it with one color and thick brush strokes, even thicker, maybe thicker and a little longer than the ones that I've done prior to that. So here's my brush. I'm gonna lay it down and I am gonna finish that off. Look at that, varying the length of the brush stroke all the way around. It can be tricky to angle your arm the way you need to. You could even turn this piece of paper, circular piece of paper if you want, to make it easier for you to get around the edges. I don't want to move this because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing while I'm filming this video. And I'm almost done with this. Oh, the colors are so beautiful. Luscious. Okay, so let's see if I can lift this up a little bit. Here is my Radial design painting inspired by Alma Thomas's gorgeous radial paintings. I hope you enjoyed this exercise. Thank you, friends.